This is Extra Paycheck Podcast, episode number 97.
You're listening to Extra Paycheck Podcast, where you will learn how to build and grow your own successful online business. Now, here's your host, Alex Soul.
Welcome to yet another episode of the Extra Paycheck Podcast. This is episode number 97, and I'm sorry if I sound a little bit weird. I'm going through a flu right now, but I know I have to do that episode. I have to release something every single Monday, so here we are. Today's topic will be SEO, search engine optimization, in 2017. Some of what I'm going to say are basically speculation. Some other things are research through sites like Google and many SEO resources and people who are really active in that specific sphere. So I hope the tips and opinions that I will be sharing with you today will help you build a better SEO strategy for your business, for your website, for your blog in 2017. So let's get right into it. First, and this is the most important, content. I always talk about it. I'm always saying how quality content is important, how you need to be producing amazing content and you have to do it consistently. Now, this is not something new. Google has been trying to rank good content on their very first page, on the front page, for many years. And the thing is that a few years ago, 10 years ago, there were things that were quite a bit important to Google, like backlinks and a lot of other things that don't really matter anymore because people kept gaming the algorithm and trying to game Google, trying to win that number one spot in the search results without actually deserving it. And Google is getting really good at detecting those shady techniques and black hat SEO, as we call it, bad strategies basically. So don't try to game Google. And as I just mentioned, they're getting really good at detecting what is real, what's not. And I think in 2017, there will be a new wave of black hat SEO. It's not going to be link building, it'll be other things. And you should stay clear from them because it might work for a little bit right now, but you will lose your rankings eventually because Google will find out. They always do. They always end up punishing those who try to screw up the algorithm. So content, I talked quite a bit about it in the episode number 94, where I explain what kind of content is best and how to create it. Now, in a very quick explanation would be just go to Google, type in your main keyword phrase and look at the 10 first rankings, 10 top results. See what kind of content they have. And if you want to have a chance of ranking on the front page, you have to produce better content than all of those other guys. That's pretty much the secret. Make in-depth content, make it better, make it prettier. Just try harder, work harder than anyone else who's already ranked on the front page, and you will at least have a chance to rank there. It's not guaranteed, but this is, if your content is not better than all of those other guys, you don't even have a chance ranking there. All right, so next thing I'd like to talk about is backlinks. Backlinks didn't go anywhere. They still matter. They're still important. And if you have noticed, more and more resources like Quora and Huffington Post and a lot of authority websites, they easily link out to other people. However, all of those links are Nofollow because Google also doesn't like that. They don't like a huge resources just linking to everybody and every single site. So all those websites are doing Nofollow links, which means they're not passing any what we used to call link juice to your website. However, that doesn't mean that links don't matter. Maybe Google doesn't look at it this way, but they still notice that you are getting links from different resources and people are linking to you. So obviously your content is good. Obviously your website or your blog has something interesting to offer. Otherwise people wouldn't be linking to it. Now, once again, if you're going to go and buy links on Fiverr, like 1,000 forum links for $5, or anything of that sort, you will lose your rankings pretty fast and your website might get completely banned from Google search. So don't go around buying links. Deserve your links. Then once again, if your content is amazing, people will link to it. You could speed up that process a little bit by reaching out to influencers, other bloggers, and telling them about your content. You could mention those influencers in your content and just let them know, by the way, I wrote this blog post and I talked about you in it. Feel free to link to it, or send it out to your email subscribers, or share it on your Twitter, whatever that is. So links still do matter, but you can't just go and buy them. You have to earn them, and once again, writing amazing content is one of the easiest ways to earn those natural backlinks. Engagement. This is something that Google keeps talking about all the time, and they do mention that if your page has a lot of engagement, it will rank higher. Now, they aren't completely clear on what that engagement means. Does it mean people leaving comments on your content, or does it simply mean low bounce rate and high click-through rate? Meaning when people find your website in the Google search results and they actually click on it and they stay on your website and they click through different pages on your website, they read your articles. Basically, they spend some time taking in your content because it's good content. So that's important. Try to lower your bounce rates. If you're not using Google Analytics, you should be using that right now, because it will help you figure out where people are leaving your website, when are they leaving it. Maybe it'll help you figure out why they're not staying or why they're not clicking on other pages within your site. So try to create as much engagement as possible on your site. This is why I did not disable comments on my blogs, because people do comment, not on every article, but some of my articles have hundreds of comments because people want to interact. People have questions to ask. People want to offer their opinions, their advice. So let them do it. Let people talk between each other and let them talk to you within your website. This will keep them on your site longer, and that's a really, really good signal to Google. All right, next. Mobile. This is a really, really big one, and it's super important because in October 2016 was the very first time when mobile traffic exceeded desktop traffic. There were finally more people going online through their phones rather than desktops, laptops, and so on. And when I say mobile, I mean phones and tablets and other mobile devices. So this is very important. And Google at the same time announced that they are giving a lot more thought and importance to mobile. This is very important because often, if you are looking for something on Google search, you'll notice that you will not get the same results on your mobile than on your desktop. There'll be completely different search results because Google, of course, will prioritize websites, at least on mobile search, who are mobile friendly, pages that load faster, pages that are optimized for mobile devices. This is incredibly important. And if in 2017 your page is still not mobile friendly, it's kind of really bad. You're really, really late, and you should get on top of it right now. There is a website called Mobile Friendly Test. This is a Google test page where you could simply put in your links and see what Google tells you. They'll tell you if your website is mobile friendly, if it's optimized properly, and if there are any issues, they will tell you what exactly they are, and they'll give you suggestions on how to solve it. So this is really easy. Now, most of the themes right now, if you're using WordPress like I am, a lot of themes come already mobile friendly. There are also plugins, there are services to help you out with that. So there are a lot of different things to help you become mobile friendly. And once again, if you're not yet, you should be as soon as possible. This is crucial. Next thing I'd like to talk about is AMP. This is a new project that Google started called Accelerated Mobile Pages. Now, this is not the same as having a mobile version of your website. I don't want to go into all the technical details, but basically Google is making a stripped down version of your website, and they're kind of hosting it on their servers. Not really, but kind of. It's really hard to explain. It's too technical. However, Google is trying to make this new format in a way and show these pages to people. Why they do that? Because when they strip out all of the JavaScript and all of the elements of design, like sidebars and weird menus on your website, they speed up your website a lot, like incredibly. Your website would load within less than a second. And this is something they just launched in 2015, I believe. And in 2016, people started kind of applying it and working with it and trying it out. A lot of news websites are now completely AMP optimized. And this is something that you should do for your blog as well. It's pretty easy to have AMP set up on your website, and you don't have to actually make copies of your website or strip anything down. There are a few plugins that help you do that. It's super simple. It's really, really easy process to do that. And one of the plugins that you will need is called simply AMP. It's made by Automatic, basically the same guys who created WordPress. And the second plugin you will need is called AMP for WP, so AMP for WordPress. And this plugin helps you set it up and helps you edit a little bit your pages or your posts so they look better. Some things don't work with AMP. As I mentioned, JavaScript doesn't work with AMP unless it's Google Analytics code and a few other things. It's still relatively new and there aren't many options. But if you don't want to do AMP for your whole blog, you could at least test it on some of the pages. And I've noticed quite a few websites go up in rankings quite a lot in the past few months simply by using AMP. Because AMP, if you haven't noticed yet, if you search for something on mobile, sometimes Google serves this kind of carousel thing right on top of all the search results. And it's news stories or sometimes it's something else. And on the corner, there's like a little logo and it says AMP. So they're serving that above all the other content on mobile. It doesn't work for every single keyword because there aren't that many AMP optimized websites, but I'm sure if you paid attention and if you use a mobile phone to search for anything on Google, you have probably noticed AMP by now. So that's something you should be considering because Google, as I mentioned, is really going strong after mobile, after speed, after these kind of things. So AMP will become huge in 2017. I'm pretty sure about that. Okay, so this next thing that I'd like to mention really quickly, this is a speculation and I'm not sure what's really going on, but I kept hearing different people mentioning that Google will probably change their front page of search results actually, and it will not feature 10 results anymore. It will be less results and more ads. Now this is, it sounds a bit weird, but when people were saying that Google will get rid of right-hand sidebar and just put all the ads on top, nobody believed that, but it happened. And Google increased click-through rate, Google increased conversions. They really loved that decision. Now, if they don't serve 10 organic results anymore and they serve less, this basically means that it gives them more space to serve ads, which is kind of their goal. They have to be profitable, they have to make money. And as I mentioned, this is a rumor. This is not confirmed by Google or anyone really, but it has started happening to me this month of January. Sometimes it happens when I look for something, when I search for something on Google, I only get 7 results. Usually I actually get the very first one is that feature snippet where it's kind of a highlighted search result from a website. And then I get 6 or 7 results down the line. I'm not quite sure, but they are not 10. I think there's 7. I think so far I've noticed there's 7 organic results and some ads. So Google is doing something, definitely. Will they switch the whole website to this? I'm not sure, but they are playing with it. They're doing some kind of tests. This is important because we can't aim for the top 10 anymore. You have to seriously start aiming for the top 3 because this is where it's happening. If they're removing the bottom ones, you have to aim higher and higher. So you have to work harder, you have to write better content. But this is just something that I wanted to mention. By the way, they might be removing the 3 or 4 last results out of 10, so you have to aim higher. One last thing that I would like to see, and this happens every single year, you will see a lot of bloggers and self-proclaimed gurus and stuff telling you that SEO is dead, is no longer working, there's nothing you can do, you just have to pay if you want your results to be on Google. This is not true, guys. This panic happens every single year, especially if Google does some kind of a major update to their algorithm and people start crying and screaming and saying, that's it, SEO is dead. SEO is not dead. It's just getting more serious, it's getting smarter, and it's getting better, especially for people who are working hard and creating amazing content and producing quality websites. Search engine optimization is not dead. It will not die. It's just getting harder and harder to trick or to game. So it's a serious business, and you should be really, really serious about search engine optimization efforts. That's it for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Head over to extrapodcast.com/97, where I'll link up some resources. That's mobile friendly test page, and some other resources will be there. Maybe I'll talk a little bit about AMP, so it could be easier for you to find that information. Also, head over to extrapodcast.com/iTunes in order to subscribe to this podcast, leave a rating and a review, which will help the show tremendously. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll talk to you next Monday.